For every aspiring farmer out there, today we calculate the cost of Egusi farming. Egusi melon, also known as Citrullus latanus, is a popular West African food. We are evaluating the cost right here. Don't go anywhere. For every farming activity we do, we have the financial outline, cost of field, cost of slashing if necessary, cost of herbicide if need be, cost of plowing, and lastly, cost of egusi melon. This is just the part one of the video where we are calculating and analyzing the cost needed or necessary for egusi. One, cost of field. We have different types of field to evaluate: the forest vegetation, the grass field vegetation, and lastly, the shrubs vegetation. Forage vegetation costs at least $15 per acre for each farmer, and slashing is required. And here, the cost of slashing is slightly above $15 per acre. So you will need to pay for slashing the total cost of such field. If 1 acre costs $15 and cost of slashing per hectare is actually $15, it means the total cost per acre is $30. Meaning if you need 5 acre, you should be going for $150, or 10 acre costing $300. Most people tend to this forage vegetation due to its low cost and high manure in it. So if you're starting a goosey farming as new, then go for the types of farms. The second type of field here is grass field vegetation, which a cost per acre is now $25. Going for 5 hectares in this type of farming will need you $125. So evaluate your cost. You mustn't do right up to $25. Remember, when starting your egusi farm, you will need to consider factors like climate, soil quality, water supply, and sunlight. Egusi melon thrive in warm temperature and well-drained soil. Note that the cost of herbicide is decided for each type of farm you choose. So consider the cost of each herbicide before going into a particular farm. It should be less than $10. And also, it must not be applied to all forms of farms. So take notes on the type of field you're going in for, because there are different types of herbicide you want to apply to your field if actually you have the cost, you have the finances. But if you're lacking in finances, look for a field which, like for example, the forest vegetation, who would not need all of this herbicide, or for you to be buying spraying cans and other materials to spray as herbicide. Note that your financial constraints should always be taken into consideration, and when applying the herbicide, make sure you wear gloves and protect your body such that the chemicals in it should not in any way affect you when you're carrying out this activity. Apply the herbicide and let it be for 2 to 3 weeks before you consider planting or consider plowing your farm. So this is a very necessary part for each and every farmer trying to go into the egusi farming. So note, herbicide might be costly, but that increases the yield of your farming. So if you're going for large scale, think about it. The next cost we're evaluating is the cost of plowing. We have the first, which is being with tractors and also manual labor. Which are you going for? Tractors are just machines which make the soil very soft in order for you to plant, not needing human labor. And the plowing cost here is about $13 per acre. So if you're taking about $5, we are working about $65 to work with. It is not that expensive. Calculating the profits or the gains that will come out from the field after your planting. Egusi melon can be sold in so many regions, many countries, and plowing increases the yield. It increases the productivity. Note that once your field has been plowed by tractor, the next thing is to plant your egusi seeds. And note that you planting the seed after 2 weeks, it can be exposed for you to fumigate your farm, that is, apply herbicide immediately, such that once the field is growing, the plants are growing, you find that little or no grass is there to hinder growth. And as your egusi melon grows, try in as much as possible to monitor pests and diseases. Implementing organic pest control method or practicing good crop rotation can help keep egusi plants fit. So our advice for beginners to go with the forest vegetation, since it does not require the application of herbicide, but things like the grass vegetation or the shrubs always require herbicide, and look at the labelings of this herbicide to be able to know how to apply each herbicide. And this should be the end result of your field after plowing by a tractor. So let's go to the manual method of plowing, which incurs zero cost. Here you just need your family members, friends and colleagues to help you out on the weekends, as we do in our African nature, to just plow the farms. It's also something being done by our forefathers, so it's not new for us. It's not new to the African. So you, if you don't need to pay tractors, you could just with your hoe, everybody, your colleagues, your kids can try with this. So for those who are just starting, I won't advise you to just start with tractors. Tractors are really for large scale farmers, those who have the means, because it's really costly. Whereas the manual form of labor is just not costly, because with family, friends, colleagues, you could just help them and you have a desired soil as this one. The next will be also verifying the soil and desiring the period in which you need to apply your fertilizers if need be. So we are going to calculate the cost of fertilizers, application of fertilizers, their yielding, the duration needed for egusi farming, all in our next video.